Happy Thanksgiving.
Huh? Hey guys, my name is Juan Santos, as I hope you know, and today I'm going to be reviewing Interstellar. Interstellar is a film directed by the wonderfully brilliant Christopher Nolan and stars Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Casey Affleck, Michael Caine, crazy amounts of people, and knowing that the cast is filled with amazing actors, the outcome of the film I expected brilliant acting, which for the most part, I received. So overall, I thought this film was really good. It had tons of flaws that we will go over in this review. No spoilers, don't worry. And I was kind of disappointed, but I was still blown away. It was kind of a weird feeling after this film. So I'd like just to say that Christopher Nolan is probably my favorite director in Hollywood at the moment. So my expectations were That being said, I didn't think my expectations were met because they were just set to There were lots of plot holes in the film that really bothered me, especially in the beginning section and the end section. They were kind of oh, Chris and Jonathan, come on, fix those plot hole, guys. Also, Christopher Nolan is a very show, not tell kind of director, but this film kind of went away from that. There was a lot of lecturing about science, which I actually really appreciated it. I love the fact that it's so scientifically accurate in this film, being executive produced by Kip Thorne, an astrophysicist. That being said, I felt like they were just throwing information at me this is a black hole, this is a wormhole, this is how the universe works, and this is gravity, and all these things that were just being thrown at your face, and it just felt kind of uncomfortable. Although the actors are great, the lines are kind of not realistic. There are a lot of things that you would never expect someone to say out there. They're not cliche, but they're just not realistic enough to actually believe. I don't think there was anything negative that I didn't like, except for the ending. I felt like there was the ending, there was one part where, I'm not going to say the spoiler, but there was one part I thought it should have ended, and I would have been extremely satisfied, but then it kept going. Now let's talk about the positives, though, because this movie is riddled with magical moments and some great cinematography, and of course, I already mentioned the acting. The directing is amazing, but there are some great things about this film. The space imagery is probably the most exhilarating and realistic imagery that I've seen in a film about space. And that seems kind of weird because you just draw a bunch of weird stars and then boom, space. It's so beautifully crafted in the way the shots are framed. It just creates a real atmospheric atmosphere. And then I also really appreciated that Nolan only uses, or tries to only use, practical effects. There's a difference. Practical effects are effects that are done in camera. There isn't any CGI or anything else. It's just huge models and real explosions and all that. Visual effects are effects that are done in post-production, in the editing process. That's where you add these giant monsters and stuff. But what Nolan tries to do is that whenever he can, he tries to go practical. So when they're in the spaceship and it's moving around, you can see the space outside. That's actual projection of space outside. Another thing I really appreciated about this film was the message. The film was riddled with little messages everywhere. There was a message about love, there was conservation of the planet, there was exploration, all these crazy things, and human morality and stuff like that. And just the one that really impacted me was the exploration. I feel like the human race hasn't really done anything in space after 10 years. This film is inspiring people, or inspiring me just to, do something, let's go back out to space. There's so much to learn. We're just stuck on this planet when there's billions of light years of light miles and wormholes and stuff. There's so much to discover, essentially, and we just need to go out there and do it. One more thing that I really loved about this film was the soundtrack. Hans Zimmer is quite possibly my favorite composer in the business right now, and my god, he took organs and strings and made that spacey. A lot of people actually had a problem with the soundtrack, which I find kind of understandable. There were moments in this film where you could not hear the dialogue because either the organs were playing too loud, or there was just so much noise, or Michael Caine wasn't speaking clearly. I had a problem with that at first because I wanted to hear the dialogue and I thought it was important. But then I read an interview with Christopher Nolan, and he said that it was all artistic choice. He's saying the show not tell. He's using the show not tell rule by saying that you don't need dialogue to convey a message. You can use like loud noises and what's the crescendoing music to convey a message instead of having to hear the dialogue, which I'd get rid of that. Just get rid of that. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I was inspired by it. I loved the concept of it. It had some flaws, though, that I think Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan could have fixed. But overall, I'm going to give this a B minus B. B minus B, which is a 0. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. This is not coming out on Thanksgiving, but I wanted to let you know that I'm super thankful for you because you guys support me and you guys make me want to make movies. So anyways, guys, Merry Christmas, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye!